All right, so I wanted to tell you guys a little something that I do to manage cravings and how I've been able to stay on track with nutrition for a long time. And I just had it happen in action. I've talked about this before, but I'm like, let me bring it up again because I think that a lot of us think that if we're going to be super fit and healthy, we have to be perfect all the time. I think there's even some people won't admit how they're really eating. I actually was like at a gas station getting some gum and chapstick kind of late last night, and I was like, dang, there are a lot of people in here getting candy, like grown adults with just like multiple packages of candy and sodas. And I was like, I don't hear anybody talking about they're eating this stuff. And so I want to be really real with you. So this is how I've learned to manage like my weight, stay fit and healthy over many years without ever having like going through these big slumps or these big weight gains or anything like this. So this is how I like mentally handle these things. So first of all, let me say yesterday, I fully admit that I did not do well on my carbs experiment. I had a very stressful day on a personal level, was going through something pretty hard. And it was also my son's 9th birthday. So we had ice cream cake and we had pizza, and I was cooking keto videos all day yesterday, and my food is freaking good. And I was like, I can't eat this because I'm doing this high carb experiment, and I totally botched it. I totally had the keto food. I totally had pizza. I totally had ice cream cake. And I was like, yep, this is happening. This is totally out of line with what I'm trying to do right now. And I did it, right? And so this morning, what I wanted to say was that, because I've been in practice long enough that I'm like, well, shoot, like that wasn't good for my carb experiment, but like freaking whatever, life happens. But what I'm going to say was like, I wasn't guilting myself. And in fact, what I found was this morning, I was like, you know what sounds so good is a maple bar. And it woke me up to the fact of like how addictive this stuff is. It's like, my body was like, yep, that was nice. Do that again. And so this is how I manage moments like this. This is what happened. So I thought I would share it with you guys. I was like, okay, yep, I'm going to go get a maple bar. I always give myself permission. You always have that liberty. Like if you have enough money to have a cell phone and watch me on Instagram right now, you have enough money to go buy whatever random treat you want, right? So like always give yourself that. I always give myself that. I can have it. I can have it. You can have it if you want. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go get this maple bar. And then I really started thinking about it, and I was like, well, it's 10:30 and you haven't eaten yet, so you're probably just hungry. And I was like, yep, this is what I tell my clients, right? I'm probably just hungry. So when these like big cravings hit, it's like you probably don't have a problem with self-control. You're probably hungry. So check that first. Have you eaten any real food, right? And that's where the little mom moment comes in. And I'm like, eat some food first and then see if you still want a maple bar. The other thing that I notice is once I fully give myself permission, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go get one and I'm going to move on with my day and have it, kind of takes that shiny luster away. It's kind of like, that forbidden fruit loses its appeal. So I kind of like, as I gave myself permission, and it was like, I think through it as if I've already had the maple bar and I'm moving on with my day. I'm like, I ate it already. It's gone. Do I really want one? Or, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to go work out, get my workout in, And so I want to share that with you guys because one, we're all human and we all want these things. They're yummy. Our brains are hardwired. If you haven't read Rob Wolf's book, Wired to Eat, I definitely recommend that. It really helps with understanding yourself mentally with food. Like we are wired to want foods that are really high in fat and carbohydrates because that results in energy the quickest and helps us not die. So in our evolution, we were hardwired to want foods that are highly caloric because food was scarce. So we still want that. We are still, from an evolutionary standpoint, designed to crave these foods. Pizza's always going to taste good. Donuts are always going to taste good. Ice cream cake's always going to taste good. Even with my little highly evolved palate and I eat healthy all the time, did that pizza taste good last night? Yes, it did. Okay, because like our brains are hardwired. So I think it's important to realize like we're always going to want those foods. So the way that I've learned to manage it is one, if I ever have them, I never guilt myself. Like, come on now. Like I eat so well almost all the time. It's just like, it's not worth guilting yourself about. But what I've also learned is they're highly addictive, because as soon as I have one, then the next day I want it again. So I recognize when I go into it, okay, if you eat this, you're probably gonna have to deal with it tomorrow. You're gonna be wanting stuff like this all over again. So I keep that in mind. I'm like, all right, I'm willing to pay that sacrifice right now. And then the last thing is, I always give myself permission. Always, always, always. As soon as you start saying like, I can't have it, your little brat side inside yourself is gonna be like, watch me. Okay, so don't do that to yourself. Give yourself permission. It's crazy what happens to you mentally when you really do that, when you really give yourself permission to have that chocolate or that treat or that pizza. It's like, yeah, dude, I can totally have it. I can have like 12 of them if I want to. And all of a sudden, I don't know, at least for me, maybe it's because I got a little bratty, defiant rebel side in me, but every single time I do that, my little something in me is like, nah, I don't want it that much anymore. Okay, so try that on for size. I also wanted to share this because I wanted to share that, like, I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect in our eating. I think that's total BS when people try to act like they're like freaking perfect all the time and they never ever eat a single artificial sweetener or processed anything. I'm like, I eat freaking well. I like, I'll be honest, I don't think I know anybody who eats as clean as I do most of the time. Hardly in my day-to-day life. Like, I eat real food all the time, but I still eat crap sometimes. Okay, we all do. So let's be real about it, and let's learn how to manage it, and so that it doesn't turn into this like downward spiral where you're trapped into it forever. I think that we need to learn how to manage our modern life. Like, we're always going to want these yummy foods. We're gonna have days that we eat something that's not aligned with what our plan was. And so the question is like, okay, how do I keep that from not happening all the time? And then how do I move on from it, right? And the last thing I'll say is like, you know what I'm gonna go do right now? I'm gonna hit some freaking weights because I had pizza and ice cream cake last night. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do the best I can to turn that into muscle. I don't go and try to cardio that off. I'm like, well, let's use it. My glycogen stores are full, really full right now. And I'm at an excess calorically. Like, I'm gonna go slam the weights. Susie, I love how you keep it real and say this journey can be hard, because yeah, sometimes it really is. Yeah. And I think like there's this like illusion that like everybody else does it perfectly. So what's wrong with me because I have these fitness goals and then I go eat donuts and I'm such a loser and I'm such a failure. And I'm like, everybody's doing that. Okay. Everyone, nobody's perfect. I don't know a single freaking person. I know people who are like big, huge health influencers, and I've seen them have a drink of alcohol or have some cake at a thing, or, you know, like everyone does that. So I think the worst thing we can do is start guilting ourselves into the point that it makes us give up because we think we're like not enough, we're not at perfect enough, we're not doing a good enough job. It's bull crap. Everybody does that. So I'm just saying, I'll let you know, I had ice cream cake and pizza last night, and I'm like learning how to manage. I've learned how to manage those things. One is you don't guilt yourself. 2, you move on. 3, you put it towards some muscle building, you lift some weights. 4, you recognize that it's probably going to make you want that again the next day because it's addictive as crap. And I wanted my maple bar. I was about to go get myself one, and then I was like, no, you are hungry. So, yeah, just don't guilt yourself. Just know like that's going to freaking happen. So the best thing that you can do is learn how to manage those things and how to move on and how to intelligently like train afterwards to actually let it enhance your body a little bit. Okay, so don't beat yourself up. Just move on. Get back on the horse. Get in your self-love. Eat some real food for your next meal and just move on, and know that we're all in this together. We're all imperfect. None of us are living off of pure vegetables. And if you are, you probably have some like massive eating issue. Just kidding. I'm pretty close. I do pretty good. I will say I love nurturing my insides. I find so much joy in eating foods that nurture my insides. But every once in a while, I have a stressful moment and I eat crap. Okay. And so does everybody else. And if they're acting like they don't, they're full of crap, because I just saw a bunch of them at the gas station last night and they're all eating candy. And these are people who look pretty healthy, so it happens. All right, guys. If you feel like you keep failing and how do other people have so much self-control and how do other people do it and I can't, that's a big load of crap. And so go back and watch this if you're feeling like you're in that mindset. All right. Have a great day, guys. Bye.